Welcome to I Think I Can Sew It. I'm Angel, and today I'm doing a sew along of the Laurence top by Vivian Shao Chen. This is version B, which features a cropped body length and a slightly tapered silhouette. See, it's like a little bubble. The designer recommends 100% linen, but here I have used a linen rayon blend in a medium weight. All right, let's get sewing. Now, assuming you've cut out all your pieces, mark your bust darts and make sure to mark your notches. At 1/4 inch, stay stitch the neckline of both the sleeve openings and the neckline on both the front and the back pieces. Here I take the tip of the dart that's drawn and the center of the dart that's drawn, and I fold it right there. Then I use the pins. I'm going to go through the top and flip it over and look through the back for the line. Put it through and look for the line on the front. One thing I like to do is to put a pin right at the tip of the dart because once your presser foot gets there, it can be hard to see where to kind of taper off the fabric. So that just kind of gives me a little clue. Okay, now I'll take this over to my machine and sew the dart. I didn't show this, sorry about that. This is my first sew along, so bear with me, please. Right, get your back and your front pieces and right sides together. Pin them and sew them at 1/2 inch. And then of course you'll serge or zigzag stitch the ends, iron it open, and then we'll do the neckline. Now for the neckline, you're going to take your seam binding, put that to the side, and then I always try to find the center. I've said this before, but I'm not a perfectionist, so really I just find the general center, and that's where we're going to pin one of the ends that is pointed to the neckline. Just make sure, I'm just making sure that I'm using the back, so I was looking for the bust dart. So go ahead and pin that on. I give a little bit of a stretch, not too much, just a little, to make sure that your neckline will have have a little bit more support once you finish it. Now we're going to go ahead and sew our ends together. So you just take the ends and push them together so that it looks like it's going to match. And then just put a little pin in right there. Okay, and then just take that to your machine and sew straight across. Go ahead and snip off the ends, leave just enough that you can iron it open. There you go, and then just pin it down. Okay, now be careful of the seam allowance. Here you're only going to do 1/4 of an inch from the edge. Okay, back over here at the ironing board, I'm going to show you how we're going to fold it, press it and fold it to sew the binding down. Just get rid of these little extra threads here. All right, this is the inside. You're looking at the inside. You're going to fold it over to the seam line, and it just makes it easier. Just go ahead and press that down all the way around. But for the purpose of this video, I'll just show you this little section. Go all the way around, and then you're going to fold it over again, the same width that you folded it over before. And then that will be, you'll sew that down right along the edge. And boom, you're done with the neckline. Now you could take the time to put pins all the way through this tiny little hem, but I decided not to. It's pretty easy to just kind of manipulate it with your fingers, and you get the feel for it, and you end up rearranging it anyway once you take the pin out. All right, there's our beautiful neckline done. And next it's time for the sleeves. Here I'm just making sure I have my notches, and you want to make sure that if you have right side, wrong side fabric, you're going to do them in opposite directions, so you have a left sleeve and a right sleeve. For this fabric, I didn't have a right side and a wrong side, so I just made sure that I had two going opposite directions before I stitched down at the seam allowance is 1/2 inch, and then took it over to my serger and serged the edges, and then I went ahead and ironed it up. Okay, once our seam is all ironed nicely and serged, we're gonna take this to the machine and do a long stitch, the longest stitch you can, to do a gathering stitch. We're gonna gather it within the half an inch seam allowance twice. Okay, and we're gonna gather it between the double marks and the single marks. Mine goes up to a 5.0. That's the one I'll use. Do not back stitch. Now, I'm gonna go from the bottom line. I don't think it matters. That's what I'm gonna do. Going at about 1/4 of an inch first. Line, or mark, hash, whatever you wanna call it. And just go 1/4 of an inch away from their previous line. Alrighty. Okay, let's zoom you out a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna attach this to the shirt. And what I'm gonna do, I think what I'll do is just turn it inside out. You can do it however you like, but your goal is to do it right sides together. So my right side is inside. And so I'm gonna just put the sleeve in and match up the hole, starting with the side seam, matching up those lines. So I have one going one way and one going the other way. That'll kind of reduce the bulk. I really didn't take the time to plan that, but I'm glad it worked out. Okay, and then now you're gonna match the top shoulder seam with the right side of the top shoulder seam. And I'm pinning it from where the gathering stitch is gonna be. This is gonna have to get repinned, but because I wanna be seeing those gathers while I'm sewing. Okay, let's just get that where I can use it. Okay. This part before the two little marks is just flat stitched. No gathers. That should fit perfectly. So instead of going all the way around, I'm just flipping it to the other side to pin the flat stitch, because I don't know where to pin the part that's going to be gathered yet. Okay, now you can see it's a little bigger than the hole, so we're just going to gather between there and there and here and here. So just take 2 threads from either side. I don't think it makes a difference, except you can see here I have my pin stuck in it, so I don't want to do that. Okay, and then just pull it and get it pretty tight, and then you're going to smooth it out. I'm going to be gentle because of this rayon linen. If you're using cotton, you can put a little more force in it. Shouldn't need much. All right. Okay, now I don't want any gathers on this side of the stitches. I don't want to see any gathering, because that will show up. So I'm gonna smooth it out as best I can and still fit it. Now, you know, you can watch me do this, but you literally just have to do it enough times to where your fingers know how to do it. And even if you've been doing this for years and years, you're still gonna have to fiddle with it. See, so I'm just seeing that when I lay it flat, when I iron it, there shouldn't be any gathers on that side. See, that's gonna have a gather and I don't want that. So I'm gonna even it out. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So I'll take this to my sewing machine and I'll be very careful sewing it together to make sure that, look at that, see, Don't want any of that when you fold it this way, okay? Okay guys, so now that our sleeves are on, all we have left to do is the hems on the arms, on the sleeves, and on the base, the bottom. So now, this is the first time I ever made this, and I didn't add in any length because I generally like my shirts just a little bit shorter anyway. I don't know why it is, just works with my other clothes. I tried this on, I have almost no length to spare. Now the pattern says, I believe it's like turn it up a half and then turn it up another half. So that's like another inch. And I don't have any to spare. I am 6 foot tall, so I knew better, but I took my chances. So what I'm gonna do is do a baby hem, where I'm gonna go and just fold it over a little bit, sew it, and then I'm gonna fold that over a little bit more and sew that, and I'll go ahead and do that and just show you what it looks like. But if you're gonna just follow the pattern and just follow the directions in the pattern for folding this up, simplest, easiest little hem you could do. All right. Well, that was my first tutorial. Let me know if there's some parts that I didn't hit that you would love for me to do next time. I'm sure I'll just keep getting better at it as I go. I really enjoyed doing this, and I hope you were able to get this really simple shirt out of this experience. So I'll see you guys later.